This atmospheric, eerie, like it just feels blue. I don't know, it's like the frozen lake and whatnot. And so people asked how we came up with the idea. So Christina's always really loved the poem, the Wordsworth poem, Lucy Gray, about a girl who kind of just like walks off into the snow and disappears. And we also really liked the woman in white urban legend, where, you know, drivers on a curvy road see a woman off the side, she's like dressed in white, and then something really horrible happens. And then one day, okay, so I have my degree in neuroscience, and before I was writing full time, I was doing research on neurodegeneration. And, you know, how can we develop drugs that can keep cells from dying, that we can give to people before the cells actually get too sick to save? And it was really frustrating for me at the time because I felt like all of the medication that was in early stage discovery, really what it did is it just kind of put the cells to sleep for a while they were exposed to toxic stimuli, like bright light or, you know, toxins or different kinds of stressors. And that wouldn't work really in the clinic. Those might look great pre-clinically, but they're not going to get very far. So I was like, colleagues, like, let's be creative. So I was kind of bemoaning this and frustrated. My boss at the time, he came into my office and we were talking about it, and I was like, I just feel like, you know, our strategy is to like make these cells like sleep for a little bit, and then, oh look, wow, it's magic, they're fine. And he's like, yeah, it's like that story of that kid in Nova Scotia that fell into the water in a lake, and he was under for 3 hours, and they pulled him out, and he was totally fine. And I was like, bing! So I was like texting Christina, oh my god, this would be so cool with the ghost thing we're talking about. So I started looking into it. It turns out it's not really a thing. Like, this is a total urban legend. You can't go into a frozen lake and be underwater for 3 hours and like come out and be like, I'm totally fine. So, but I like the idea of it. And it's one that, like, if you look around on the internet, there are people who really think this is true. So we started thinking about, well, how can we combine, like, what would that kid be doing? He's underwater, he's unconscious, like, what's happening for those 3 hours? So we're like, a ghost girl, and this kid who's having like near-death experience, and what if like he has an out-of-body experience and he's kind of like her for those times, and he gets obsessed with trying to get back into that state. And so that's how it came about.